All right, so sticking with music one more time. Let me go to Trinidad now. Let me actually talk about some local rap. So I got a request actually to talk about the latest EP from an artist called DNA 868 Music called I Am 868.
Okay.
So I knew that I saw this guy somewhere, right? And I actually found out how, right? So the first song for this EP, it's a 6-track EP. It's called Talk the Things. And I actually saw the video for this because Mike Wise, shout out to Mike Wise, actually
Right.
shared it. I think it was like early this year or late last year, and I saw it like, oh, okay, this is who this person is, right? So I was actually surprised that okay, this is the guy that whose music I'm finally check it out, right? So basically, this is a follow up to his 2018 EP called No Fucks. This featured an artist by the name of Shiloh, another rapper. But he's not in this one. Actually, this is just, DNA just doing things solo, right? The opening track is Talk the Things, as I mentioned earlier. And just talking about the song here for a bit, right? So I dug the moody trap beat for this. So basically, DNA's choice of music when it comes to beat selections mostly have this trap feel to it, right?
Right.
Which is fine, right? I mean, trap is part of rap, so we love that, right? But yeah, it has this. In this case, it has some moody trap beat here. It has some discordant guitar strums in the background. I love here the intro where he does a take on the intro to Lil Wayne's Lollipop. So he says,
Right.
said I wouldn't make it as a rapper. Said I wouldn't make it as a Trinidad rapper, right?
Right.
And then here basically, well, okay, so before we get to what the topic of this song is, right? So at first this was a slight criticism, right? Well, not so much that I had, but I imagine other people would have had with his previous EP, right? And this is where you could come in, Ricardo, right? And this is the whole idea of rapping in Trinidadian slang, basically,
Right. Right.
in
Right.
your dialect, basically, right? So in the No Fox EP, right, what happens is that they rap sort of pseudo American, right? I know if I know we've had this chat outside of the podcast here, right? But there's always this issue when it comes to local rap music, right? Where okay, if I sing it as a Trini, people not gonna vibe with it because it sound like we making joker things and it don't
Right.
sound good and we don't want to hear that in a rap song. We want to hear like the way how Future or Drake would do it, right? So in the case of that EP, I don't say that he copies those guys, but he raps in a sort of freshwater Yankee accent, right?
Right.
Intentionally, right? But still, and he actually addresses it in this song here, is like, well, this is the line where he says, right? He says, right. So he says, I make my music more American. Then they tell me how my music it do sound original. And I was actually surprised that he brought that up in this song here now. Because at first I was like, okay, we're gonna continue the whole American kind of vibe here, which once
Right.
again I have no problem with, right? But
Yeah.
here he brings it up here, he sounds natural here. And I just thought that was a great moment bringing it up though, because yeah, it's just a serious issue that has played local rap for years now. This idea
Yeah.
that
It's
if
a
I
tough
talk this
argument.
way, like how I'm
Right.
talking right now, no, we want to hear that. We want to sound, foreign. But then when you sound foreign, this has happened to me like a couple times already. It's hard to tell whether it's always like, wait, this is a new rapper from what, Philly or from Detroit or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
when they hear a reference to something Trinidad, it's like, oh,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
okay.
and it's
But that's
so
the issue.
derivative now. Yeah, it's so derivative. Yeah, it's a hard argument. As I said, it's more a question of technique other than actual philosophical debate. There's a question of
Right.
technique because a lot of people, we sorry to say it, we still have that bias. It's a dumb bias, but we have it, and we had to like sort that out. But I've Mike Weiss himself has been he's dealing with that himself. You've been hearing it in
Mm,
some of his more recent stuff where he doesn't song Professor as well, where they sung in Trudy, but then this song like, oh, I have to take these lyrics seriously and take this song seriously or whatever
yeah.
it is, right? And yeah,
it's rap, man. I mean, you
right,
have to do it. So is that
right.
like, well, okay, so because I kind of enunciate my words or I add in a kind of flair to how I say the words,
Right.
that don't mean that I'm copying
Yeah, yeah.
some
It's and
American rapper.
this
Come
is
on.
this is like a much deeper argument when it comes to just taking a person seriously. You hear a person in a certain accent, you take them less seriously. You hear some guy in a British accent, you think professor or some bullshit like that, right? You get my point, right? Um,
Yeah,
I have I have a term for it. It's called the quizzaciousness problem, right? And it's a tough argument to sort out. Like, but in rap music, it's interesting how it plays itself out, right? Um, we literally you'll take somebody less seriously in terms of what aggression or in terms of education or something like that, or street cred, if you want to use that term, simply because it does sound like an American black person. We're not using African American vernacular English, right? That's
yeah,
fascinating. And I want to hear this argument play out because I think it goes much deeper than just rap music, right? You hear a person in a certain accent, you take them more seriously or not. Let's find out why, right? And you have to literally build up a kind of working stereotype over a period of time because yes, the whole educated British professor thing or whatever accent is that in itself is a stereotype, right? It's a positive stereotype, but it's a stereotype nonetheless.
yeah.
And I want to see how they'll play this out going forward. But yeah, in this little corner of the world, we have our own little battle. Yeah, well, go ahead now.
Yeah, yeah, and just thinking about it, I think it transcends, it goes beyond rap too. Like I could see it
Right.
play out like in soca because yes, we have a lot of great, singers, right? But it's like they could sing some sort of ballad, but I mean, if they do something of a ballad, they have to incorporate some sort of, little Trini slang in it too. Now, you know what I mean? So you could tell, oh, that's Patrice Roberts singing here, or that's Nyla Blackman singing here. You know what I mean? That's something like that now. So that's something that will be forever an issue with our music, right? But here, what I really talk about just the album as a whole, and then this song here, which I'm gonna get back into it a bit, is how like he just comes in with this direct mission statement. This is what the opening track is, where it's like, look, y'all have an issue with me talking Trini, but when I did the American thing, y'all didn't like that. So here's what, I just gotta be me.
Yeah.
I represented Trinidad to the fullest. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get full treaty throughout this EP thread. And I honestly can't be mad. I actually respect him for going this route, right? But yeah, but I feel like that particular line with the I make my music more American thing, I feel that is a reference to the previous EP. Cause yeah, like when I first heard it, I was just like, okay, this is great, but I want to know if someone hears this and or what they would think now would sound too foreign, right? But anyway, but yeah, so just how he was just able to use that to his advantage and just say, hey, I could rap too, though. I mean, and he says how he could just rap about anything, but as long as it's Trinidad, he could talk about. He'll mention Zessa and Dudu, Lyman Quasi, drinking that stag, all that kind of thing. So it's all about he's Trini to the bone, literally, and you're gonna get that in this EP. You're gonna get that in this particular song. So yeah, dope opener, short, sweet to the point, no bullshit. I love that, right? So next one we have is Hungry to Death. And yeah, I actually like really like the titles here. One thing about the titles, they very trini, right? In terms of
Right. Right.
right. But here we get this playful flute-driven beat. It sounds like some trap version of a Coney Island or a fun house. Like you hear toot 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 toot. You know what I mean? It sounds really like warped and weird. It has a thick bass line in this though, so it's a really true like trunk rattler, right? Um, Basically on this he's talking about singing about buying food in Trinidad and how just the ups and downs of it there. This is nothing new when it comes to our music. Like I know we had well, I don't know if you're probably not familiar with these guys, The Face and Macasmiastic entity, but they had a song called Cheese Pie and Pack Juice.
Okay. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
it's a play on the song Snapbacks and Tattoos.
Right.
Like is the same beat, but they just kind of do it over. But they're talking about buying cheese pie and pack juice, literally, right? So yeah, it's meant to be comical, but it's just dope. It's just a dope song, right?
Right.
But yeah, in this case here, it is comical. He's given us two vivid stories about him trying to buy food. So the first one involved him buying doubles. He even go as far as talk about how he had one foot in the drain. So I just like how detailed
Yeah,
all this now. You know what I mean? He just
yeah,
they're waiting to buy doubles. I love that. Um, Second one, he talking about trying to buy KFC, but they only have wings, so he had to
right,
go to this gyro spot to buy food. So it's
right,
all
right.
that trend. And because the vibe is just fun and comical and witty, and well, the key word here is relatable. Because yeah, majority of these songs, I would say, if you're a Trini, you could more or less relate it. You may not be the type who would go out and buy gyros, but you could
Right.
you know how it is, right? You've seen it before, right? But yeah, I mean, it's just really, really a dope song. And yeah, I mean, oh yes, the hook is catchy as hell, Dread. So yeah, dug that track. Next off we have is Yzma Upright. So we get this slightly grimy and menacing beat. And basically, DNA just puts us in the shoes of someone talking down and talking back against someone who literally just want to start a war of words, right? Just with you, right? And what I like here is that he's not getting all hyper aggressive or violent, right? But at the same time, like he will just throw like once again the Trini really relatability of it, right? Like
Right.
if somebody wanna start some kind of like wanna start a cuss you out, right? You're not gonna throw blows as yet. You gonna ask him like, "What's your problem, hustler?"
Yeah,
So
right,
like
right.
how he see like you don't have brought up, see or what, right?
Mm,
It's just like those words that you would just quote and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember this from like primary school or secondary
yeah, yeah,
school and that kind
yeah,
of thing." There, but you think, oh, it's old or archaic now because you don't really hear it. But this how he was just able to draw from that and just make a sound of it. That thought that was pretty cool. Um, Even threw in lines like "boy go so" and "outside with you" and all that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Then,
Mm,
like I swear, last time I hear outside with you," sorry, was back in like probably like year one or two in secondary school. Jen.
right.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard that in ages. Jen. He have a line where he says, "You're acting like a newborn, like it's tututsi what, right? Like
Right.
don't shout at me. You feel you is my mother, father, or what, right?" And
Right.
that's what the song is. It's just like him just talking down to this guy. Because I'm sorry, like when you see things like that to a person, you expect the person to feel bad about this stuff now and back off. Now if they wanna throw bringing fists to the equation, now that is when you do your thing, right? But here is just ease 'em up, literally. Like I just talking you away from me. That's the vibe of it, right? So yeah, dope track as well. Next track we have is Isa Man, right? This is produced by Runs. Shout out to Runs. This was a great beat here. This actually is my favorite beat on this EP, right? Because it has
Right.
this dramatic pan melody mixed into this dark trap beat, right? I don't know maybe if you know where this phrase came from, Dre, but for the life of me, like I'll never forget. Like, I think it was like early, like probably year one or two or three in secondary school when I sat here and this Isa Man thing, and I was like,
Right.
where does he even come from, Trent? And to this day, that just eludes me. That just where that term come from. But yeah, it just become part of who we are right now, how we talk at times. Even though I kind of see that's a very old term, but whatever, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, that whole Isa man thing. I don't know if you know where that came from.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things like you just don't know where it come from, but somebody say it, other people say it, and it just become a part of the vernacular. But yeah, so basically, this is my favorite song on the EP, not just because of the beat, but the message itself, right? And basically, he's using that phrase to say, "I am a man. I have responsibilities. I have goals. I'm a grind. I have no time for the BS. I have no time for haters. No time for leeches. I I have no time, especially for those who want to slow me down and achieving my dreams, Red." And that is something I could totally, totally relate to, Red. I love how the hook he says, I's a man who could party hard on Juve, Carnival Monday and Tuesday, but working hard Ash Wednesday. I can relate to that, Red.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. So yeah, dope beat, dope versus dope hook. I love, love, love this track. Second to last track we have is What You Know. Tell Me. This is produced by G Dot. So shout out to G Dot, right? We get this murky nocturnal beats, which DNA pretty much uses to just remind trainees and inform some other trainees who probably don't know about these things. And of course, the outside world who have no clue of who we are now, of our culture, what we grew up on, what identifies us as Trini, right? From buying two bourbon in the shop when you have little money to spend. And when I say two bourbon, we talk about like the small 4-pack one, Like you
Yeah.
want, like when you just eat one pack of that, you're still hungry. That's what we talk about, right? Eating bacon shark at the beach, drinking stag, you know what I mean, lime and all that kind of stuff now. And it's just how he just go back and forth from, when he was a kid and, the stuff that we grew up on, you know what I mean, playing scooch and, playing kite, flying kite and all that kind of thing
Right.
to what we do today, you know what I mean, looking for a reason to lime, you know what I mean, to drink and all that kind of stuff, right? The premise is nothing new though in terms of rap. Like I couldn't help but I was listening to this. I remember Paul Wall, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
one last, right? Had a song called "You Don't Know"
Yeah.
with Mike Jones, and it was just about you don't know about how we live in Texas. You don't know about how we do. Like I'll never forget. There was a line where he says, broads who pimp broads. I was like, whoa, okay. You don't know about 84s, you know about candy paint and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and
Right.
just on the subject that quickly, this have one of my favorite Mike Jones verses like ever.
Right.
You know, but I'll stop there, right? Because it's Mike Jones, right? But yeah, this is like just a love letter to Trinity lifestyle, to culture, and yeah, this worked for me as well. So final track we have is Hello YZ Scene, right? This is produced by Chrisio. Shout out to Chrisio, right? This also has a video as well. Basically, we get this moody, bass heavy beat, very loopy as well at the beginning, and DNA just uses that to take shots at haters, but not just any hater though. We talking about the hater who, as we see in Trinidad, Macoinian, like they all up in your business. They all want to know what it is you up to so they could hate on you even more. It's like, oh, you doing this? Nah, I don't like that. Or you with your girl? Nah, you know what I mean? And it's just like this guy is all up on the DNA trend. And he's like, yo, just stay away from it, trend. Even to the point, and this is where he gets a little aggressive compared to like East Mupness. He talk about how he'll end up getting bobo with fleece with blood leaking out Himaro if he called the popo, right? So that's how deep he goes with this, right? But yeah, once again, it's very relatable, like, and it just proves the point that no matter where you are in life, Trent, no matter if you at the bottom of the top, Trent, you'll always have people who will just hate on you for no reason, Trent. And it's just like, yeah, just back off now. Basically, that's what it is. Now, last thing I want to say, right? So the hook for this, I actually would love to see this performed live, Trent, because it's pretty explicit, but explicit in such a way that if this is one of those like blinking you're missing moments now, even though it's repeated on the hook, but there's a certain word that's said and that's seen that it shouldn't be in here. But like when I hear it, I was like, oh, okay, this is where we go in. Reason being is because like on the last EP, what I mean, it was like explicit, but good explicit, right? But here it was like, oh, I could actually sneak this in on the hook, and you wouldn't care about it that much because it's part of the hook and it's catchy, right? But yeah, I just kind of want to see this perform just to hear the audience see the word. You probably know what it is, but I'll stop there, right? But
Right.
yeah, other than that though, this was a great way to end the EP off, right? And as a whole, I mean, for what it is as an EP, yeah, I thoroughly dug this. I gave this numerous listens, really enjoyed this. Right now it's on SoundCloud. I actually put the link to it below, but I hope that it does go out to other platforms. I think I can actually use this as a little opportunity now to bring any whole news about Spotify,
Yeah.
broadening
Right.
its,
That's
yeah,
Spotify coming to
yeah,
Trinidad. Wow. Finally.
finally.
you know.
Now I have reason to keep this
Right.
Spotify app on my phone.
Yeah. Time to pull out. Time to pull out on my account.
You
Time
know
to pull up
how
the
it
credit
is
card
to
and,
have
and
Spotify on
fine.
your phone and
Fine.
can't even use it.
You know. You're not on my phone at all. I
No,
use a
well, it came with my phone, Jen, but I
okay, okay.
kept it because like, okay,
Yeah.
one day I'll get to use it.
So shocking it
Like
takes so
those other
goddamn.
YouTubers who
Nah,
who,
but
who
like
cover
seriously,
music.
yeah, for us to take a hot minute, Joe, it's absolutely ridiculous to take this long as it did.
Yeah. Now the question is, because yes, cool, you could put up your singles and all that kind of stuff. Now my thing is now, will artists finally put out albums, put out projects that run more than one song? Because they
Yeah.
kind of have to, right? On Spotify, like I see, they could
Right.
put out songs and singles, but now this gives artists the opportunities to actually drop like legit projects. That could be an EP like this one, or a full album. You know what I mean? So we'll see what the future holds with that here. But yeah, I would love to see not just DNA's music, but other artists, regardless of genres, music make it to Spotify, right? But yeah, for what it is though, with I am 868, I really enjoy this. I'm giving this a lighter, decent 4 to 5 stars. Right now it's on SoundCloud, so feel free to give it a listen there. But I hope that it does show up on other platforms, like like a Apple Music or a Spotify, like you mentioned before.
Right.
But thing that I took away from this that I really, really, really respect though is just how he was just able to say, here's what 868 is in my moniker right now, Dread. So I'm gonna give you exactly that, Dread, like in your face, Dread. And I know for some people they might be like, oh gosh, but you're bringing up all these this I guess this is another, you know, controversy, another issue that people will have. Like, okay, you have to be Trini, but why are you talking about pitching marbles and sucking on a
I know
chewy
that.
mango and
Yeah,
but
no,
but in
anybody
this
who
case and in general,
yeah,
it's
anybody who
it's
complain
it's,
about
it's
that
our
is an
culture,
idiot.
Triller. So I'm
Yeah,
like, why are you even mad at that?
yeah, exactly. If anybody mad at that has to be an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like the whole point is is eating though.
Yeah, like doesn't like okay, not taking shots at the soca stars here, right? But Marshall and Faminapi have a song called All We Is One Big Family and talk about, oh, we just eat bacon shark and we used to do all these things and all they like when soca songs just talk about going to the beach and liming and all that kind of stuff. So what's wrong with a rapper doing that? Just saying, right? But yeah, I just love the fact that he just stuck to his guns. You know what I mean? He's just giving you that. But don't go in expecting this thing to be some violent, edgy kind of thing. It's just look, it's Trini. This is who we are, Dread. But I am giving you some real bars, some real rhymes with this Dread. So yeah, I can't be mad at that. DNA, just want to see your career shine and just blow up even further, Dread. But this one really won me, and I would just say just stick to what it is you're doing here. Of course, grow and develop as an artist, right? But stick to that 868. It's already in your name already. So yeah, keep with that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Matthew Bailey, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment of the BS Beats and Bailey podcast. If you'd like to hear the full episode, hit up my link tree. On the other side of my head are 2 videos you can check out. Like this video if you like it, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell as well. Thanks for listening, and until the next one, take care, peace.